That one was really a team effort.
Yeah. That was a duo.
Crack and pour. The good old crack and
The
pour.
good old crack and pour.
Cheers.
That's a good like bodega name.
Crack and pour. Yeah. Or like a
Cheers.
like a brewery.
Yeah. Crack is a little iffy.
Alone, but in context with a brewery and pour after, I feel like
crack and pour.
Like you crack a can.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh. Ooh.
Ew.
You don't like it? Which one is that? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want this one? You want to try
Taste this. This tastes like, well, for you guys real quick. The brand's called Something and Nothing, which is so crazy.
Isn't that a bar in Brooklyn?
That's somewhere nowhere. And that's out here.
I think there is one in Brooklyn called
something
or something.
But this one is a yuzu soda. And yeah, I don't know. It tastes like a lime White Claw.
This tastes like, that's
a fucking White Claw.
I had a hibiscus rose. It almost tastes like a spa, like a candle or like a soap.
I like that.
I like this one.
Lime White Claw?
Yeah, you want to switch?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, okay. But do you want like a cut vibe?
I don't care.
Okay. What are we going to do?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Do you want to top off?
Sure.
Top off, sis?
Yeah, I like this one.
This one tastes like a bar of soap to me.
Yeah, I think I kind of like that, I guess. I don't know. I also have my leftover
Chick-fil-A.
iced tea Chick-fil-A. I still have not showered today. I don't think I had to tell you that if you're on visual. I like had such like a, when you stayed home from school because you were sick as a kid morning.
Yeah.
I got up and I went and I worked out. Like I started my day very routine, very normal. And then I came back and just when I got home, our couch had so much sun.
I love that little like patch of sun that we get
for like a few hours in the morning.
Yeah.
And Link was in it when I walked in and I was like, oh, hi, Mom. I went and laid with her and I couldn't get up.
Yeah.
So I laid there for like 2 hours and then I ordered Chick-fil-A around like 1. That was my first meal of the day. All I had before that was like a Fiber One bar. So I was just farting on an empty stomach. So then I got Chick-fil-A and I actually feel a lot better now.
Oh, good. Yeah. I think if you would have showered right after, I say this all the time, if you would have just showered right after your workout.
Which I've been doing. Like I've been on it. It's just.
You just wanted to be cozy.
I wanted to be cozy today.
I get it.
And like.
There's something comforting. Okay. How you feel like coming home from your workout and staying in your workout clothes and like the warmth that you feel. Mm-hmm. That's why I used to go to sleep without showering.
Dirty.
It's the same like comfort and warmth of you just like exerting your energy throughout the day or like however, like whenever.
Yeah.
And you don't want to like cleanse of that just yet.
I do understand when you put it to this.
Yeah. It's situation. The same thing.
Yeah. I don't like it as much as I used to. Like we've definitely talked about this before on the podcast, but like I usually I've been showering after working out because my back started breaking out.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of been like my like the fire under my ass to shower. I'm like, no, I don't want to break out. I don't want to break out. But today I definitely had that because I slept shitty. So I'm just tired today too. Yeah. And I missed my period and I think my hormones are just like a little out of whack right now. So maybe it's coming. My boobs were hurting the other day, but like usually they hurt 2 daes before I start, but that was like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I haven't had it since before Hawaii.
What's up?
I don't know.
Oh, I hope you get it soon.
I did too.
I have not been sleeping. I've been going to sleep at like 3 a.m. every night.
Yeah. See, something's up. Did you see my story about my dreams?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it might be because I'm still on California time.
Yeah. That's
I feel like I haven't fully adjusted. I was home in between Hawaii and going back home to the Bay. I was only here for 5 days, 5 or 6 days. So I don't think I fully adjusted back to New York time. And then I went back to California. I think I had fully adjusted to the West Coast time zone. Sure. But now that I'm back here, I feel like my body doesn't know where it is.
Zone. You're in the Midwest.
No, somewhere. She's somewhere. But I can't sleep at night. I'm wide awake at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I do my, I have the Insights app. I highly recommend it if you guys can't sleep. There's a whole bunch of different like sleep meditations, but also like daily affirmation meditations, a whole bunch of stuff on there. I do the sleep meditations, and I will get through like half of it and I'll still be eyes closed and I'll make sure like I'm not moving my body, but my mind is still going.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just like the stress on top of the move and everything.
Yep. Just a big transitional period right now.
Yeah.
That's
but I need to sleep.
Yeah. No,
sleep is like my save. Like
it's anybody, like when you start sleeping bad, and like I'd say at least 3 bad nights in a row sets you off.
Yeah.
Like your mind and your appetite and your like your everything,
it's
your mood, like everything.
And I've always had sleep has been the one thing that's
you
like
rely on.
kept. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're good at
keeps,
it.
Yeah. It keeps
you
me
regulated.
normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to get back to whatever, wherever I was before this.
Yeah, I do feel like it is this time right now. Like October's weird for a lot of people. I feel like since I can remember, it's always just been a weird month. Like something always happens in October. Like, I don't know. And then like we have the move on top of it right now. I think that's also why maybe I missed my period. Like, I don't know, since Hawaii, then I went 2 time zones and then like came back, had to try and regulate from that. And then honestly, all my stomach shit, I'm sure isn't helping. Like my body's clearly under some type of inflammation and stress.
Yeah.
So I think my period's reacting like that. But like, I don't know. Last night, I don't know. I went somewhere in my fucking dreams last night. I don't know. I don't know what that was.
It's a weird time. And it's Halloween for us. We're recording this the day before you guys get it. Happy Halloween. We hope you guys had a safe and fun Halloween.
I feel like this past week has been the longest week.
You have
for
no
some
idea,
reason,
Kristen. This
like, I don't, and like for what? And like
it hasn't
Monica
gone
said
anywhere.
she was feeling it too. Like we were saying, we feel like in this like limbo.
It's still Thursday.
Yes.
And I feel like this week has existed for 4 weeks.
And then it's like just now Halloween. Like I feel like Halloween was the last fucking week.
Because we started we were seeing Halloween like content and people going out for Halloween a week and a half ago.
Right. Oh,
I'm over it. I want pumpkin pie and turkey.
Yeah. I saw someone made I was actually thinking about doing this since we'll like kind of be in the midst of our move and everything. We don't plan on doing like a full Thanksgiving. I don't know if we told you guys that, just for obvious reasons, but I saw someone do a Thanksgiving casserole where like pretty much all the dishes were layered.
Ooh.
And like kind of what you already do on your plate, you know, at the end you kind of like mix it up anyway.
Right.
It was nicely done. It doesn't sound as like cartoon food as I'm making it seem, but it was like a layered thing, and then like cranberry on the side. It was, you know, not everything in it. And it looked like such a good way to like get all the flavors and comfort of the meal, but it's not all the waste and like all the time it takes in it. Like it was all like box stuffing, box mashed potatoes. Like they did it like quick and easy and cheap.
I like that.
I want to do something like that just to get my fix, man.
I was actually thinking if I'm in my new place, I'm sure I will be. Thanksgiving is the 28th and we need to be out of here by the 30th. So we will be in our new places. But I think I'm going to do like the sandwich that you eat after Thanksgiving. Yes. I'm going to do like a Thanksgiving sandwich.
Like just that.
Yeah. Exactly, like a really good carved turkey sandwich.
Yes. Like go get like a mini turkey too. Like they have like the 4 or 5 pounders.
Yep.
Oh, see, I want something that gives me like the flavor.
Sourdough. I'll do like a stuffing sourdough bread for the sandwich bread.
Yep. Ooh. And like you could even do like a cran mayo to like kind of give you the like an aioli, like a cran aioli with a little bit of mayo or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Munster cheese. I was trying to think of the potatoes, just mashed potatoes, just like a thin layer of mashed potatoes, and that would be so good. Or on the side, mashed potatoes on the side.
Yeah. Or just like French fries on the side.
Yeah.
Still get your potato fix.
Yes. With like a garlic aioli, so it's kind of like garlic mash. Oh, I love Thanksgiving food.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I will be in mine ASAP. I guess give you guys an update. Yeah, we haven't fucking recorded.
No. Yeah, missed you guys.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. But I found my apartment, and I guess I shouldn't speak too confidently yet because I am in the application process, but
You got it.
I think I don't see why I won't be approved. It's totally in my budget of like, I don't know. The guy was really cool. He really liked me. I'm working with a broker who I feel like is representing me really well. Like I think I got it. I think I got it. But it's such a cute place, a really awesome building, and I'm technically signing for November 1st, which is
really
today, by the time you guys are listening to this. But I told them
it'll be a slow move.
Yeah, I was like, I need to talk to my movers what day to get my shit over there. They still need to paint, so they said they're gonna do that next Tuesday. I was like, that's totally fine. Like,
yeah,
no rush, because they know that I don't need to technically be here until December 1st. So I told them, like, if you have other priorities, you can paint mine last. It's totally okay. And they were like, thank you so much. So
yeah, you loved that when you showed me this one. Like, you knew you loved this one.
I knew before I saw it. I felt good about it. I felt so good about it.
Yeah,
and I love the address, which is such like a like a good thing for me.
That's a good address.
And
addresses mean something.
They do.
I'm telling you.
I swear they do, because I almost just fucking said my address, but like the numbers, when you look up their angel number meaning, are very representative of where I'm at in my life right now. And the apartment I moved in after Scott and I broke up, that address, I guess I could say this now, right? There's no reason I can't.
Unless it has to do with your new address.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I meant like the
number.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was 5555, which is like,
I love that.
New beginning, like, which obviously I was doing. It was like venturing into a part of my life that I had never experienced before. And that's what that address meant. And I don't know, I told myself going into this move, and, anybody listening, highly recommend doing this. Whatever your belief system is, really like lean into it and ask for those signs and those, those moments of reassurance and like confidence that you're on the right track with wherever you're looking. This might sound so woo-woo, but it really is a thing. And like, I don't know. We'll talk about it more next episode, but like, I don't know. I knew going into it, I'll just know. That was kind of like the thing I was telling myself to like keep my stress down.
You won't have to question it.
I'm not going to question it. I'm going to know when it's the right unit. And this one, it was exactly that. So yeah, I don't know. We want to like dive into this more on Monday. But God, I'm so excited and like grateful, and I'm ready. I'm just
good.
I'm so ready.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
I know. I want you to come visit. This kind of tastes like a Truly now.
Oh.
You ever remember the Truly, the mixed berry Truly?
Like the very first one?
Give it one more swig. These are giving seltzers, like hard seltzers. That's a mixed berry Truly.
Yeah, it's still very feral. There's something with like very floral things with me.
It is so BAC.
Yeah.
It's getting there now. I've drank in enough sips where I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I like the yuzu though.
I'm going to go back to my Chick-fil-A.
Tried and true.
Chick-fil-A's iced tea is divine.
Oh, their ice is divine.
Okay, we're going to hop into today's entries. I want to kind of get through as many as possible. Looks like we got a lot. So thank you to everybody who sent something in. I'll go first.
Sure.
Okay, first one. I despise my older sister. Uh-oh. Hi, girly girls. How are we doing? Your Halloween costumes were actually so kick-ass. You both ate and left not a single crumb.
Oh,
thank you. For some context on my entry, I'm 4 years younger than my sister. She's 26 and I'm 22. Her name is Leah and my name is Jaden, and you can say our names. Leah has always been a difficult person to be around. We have our typical screaming matches like most sisters do. However, she would always find new and deranged things to say to me, such as, I'm going to kill the cat and put his skin under your pillow and put his eyeballs in your cereal. What? She would lock me in closets and kitchen cupboards when my mom wasn't home, not letting me out to eat or use the bathroom for hours. She chased our older brother around with a steak knife. He's 6 years older than her. This is a Halloween spooky story.
Yeah.
One of my earliest memories is Leah and my mom in a screaming match and her throwing a 3-wick glass candle at my mom's head. My mom ducked just in time, which made the candle break, where Leah then tried to use the glass as a weapon. She was 12.
Oh my God.
My mom was a single mom at the time who could barely afford to buy us food. She took the bus to work because owning a car was too expensive. Not a chance she could afford to take Leah to a therapist, or psych ward, rather. My mom was diagnosed with cancer last year and beat it. She's now cancer-free after some surgeries.
Yay.
I lived 30 minutes away at the time. During all of the hospital trips and seizures my mom was enduring. My sister still lives at home, so she was helping out with most with my mom. She'd drive her to the doctor's appointments, called ambulances when needed, helped with housework that my mom was too weak to do, etc. During one of their screaming matches, which never let up even during my mom's cancer journey, Leah was yelling about how my mom should be more grateful for her and how present she was during my mom's cancer. I later found out that she's also said something along the lines of, if Jaden loves you so much and is the perfect daughter, why wasn't she here for you like I was? Nobody wants to be near you. I do admit that I could have been there more, but I lived 30 minutes away and was working 2 jobs just to be able to afford the bills and take care of my cats. I couldn't drop everything and break my lease to move back home as much as I really did want to. I was there every weekend, talked to my mom on the phone constantly, and left work multiple times when my mom had to be rushed to the hospital. All of that aside, why the fuck would she say that to our mother? She tries to make my mom feel bad under any and every circumstance because she's just so miserable with her own life, but has the nerve to cry if someone calls her a bitch. I understand that while me and my sister have the same mom, we grew up with a different version of our mom, but goddamn, she gave birth to you. You have to have some respect for the woman. She's doing her best. I've only broken the tip of the iceberg with how awful my older sister is. I hope it gets the point across. In case it doesn't, here's some bonus horrible things she's done. Makes fun of me for gaining weight, tells our mom she's fat and ugly, demands money from our mom and stepdad to fund her weed addiction, made her boyfriend buy her a brand new car and makes him pay for the car payments and insurance payments, borrowed, in quotes, $700 from me 4 years ago and has only paid back $200 so far. And best of all, told me that my SA from my biological father was, quote, probably my fault because he never treated her weirdly.
Oh my God.
Sorry, this was so long. I felt the details were necessary. So am I wrong for hating this woman? Blood isn't always thicker than water or something like that, right? I also wanted to throw out there that anytime someone tries to confront her about how fucking miserably awful she is, all she does is cry and scream about how they're lying, and she's just a realist. If you can't handle the truth, then don't talk to her. It's never her fault, of course. My mom feels too guilty kicking her out of the house because she doesn't have a job or money, so she'd be couch hopping or homeless. I told her to do it anyway. But I do think when she leaves my mom's house, I'll never speak to her again. Let me know if I'm being harsh. Thank you, too, for being the amazing older sisters I never got to have.
Holy shit.
I hate every word of this.
Oh my God, she needs to
You're
be...
not an asshole, by the way.
No, not at all.
No.
There's clearly some deep-rooted issue going on.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with anyone but her.
Yeah. And, we say this with a grain of salt because we are not licensed professionals, but I do think there's some mental illness going on. That type of aggression is kind of another level. This isn't just a bad mood or a bitch. This is like, I don't know, premeditated. This is like vengeful. These are things that you hear about people who pop off one day. Exactly. Yeah, like the cat thing. Yeah. Like, don't they even say, like, when people say like harming animals? That's the first sign of like a lot of bad things. Yeah. And like the candle at age 12. Yeah, like that type of aggression. That's not just like throwing the it's not like a teenage pillow. Tantrum. No. Slamming a door. I'm trying to actually like really hurt you with something. Yeah. Like that's not just like no. Yeah, it's sad to hear that growing up, your mom wasn't in a place to get her the help she needs, but luckily she's 26 now. She is an adult. There's a lot of resources out there. I hope she can seek one day, but as for you, Jaden, it isn't your responsibility. You are also an adult, and as shitty as it is to be around an energy like this, let alone someone you're related to, You said it, blood isn't always thicker than water. So if this is what you need to hear, don't feel guilty for wanting to shut out someone you're related to for this type of behavior. Just even though you're related, that doesn't matter. Like, you're both adults now, and you don't need to be around it. When you were younger, you had to be around it because you were a minor. She was a minor and you were under the same roof. That's the beauty of growing up. You can now create your own boundaries, your own life, and get out of it. And be there for your mom, always kind of be there for someone to like sound off. And it sucks that she doesn't feel like she can kick her out, but goddamn, I wish she would, because she needs to kind of like that. A person like that, a lot of things need to happen, but like just kind of being forced into growth seems like the last thing you can at least try.
Yeah.
Like, if someone did just like kick her out. But I mean, of course you don't want to be fucking homeless. But like, she has this boyfriend that's buying her
a car. Go live with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'm sorry you guys got the wrath of it too. Your feelings are very valid. Like, especially in a situation like that, I feel like all you want for your loved ones is to like get better. I want the relationship, the quote unquote normal relationship with my siblings, but it doesn't have to do with you, and it is all her. And like Kristen said, just be there for your mom, because I mean, you guys take the brunt of it because you guys are around her, and you're the two that it's directed at because it's easiest for her. But it, like I said, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Yeah. Your feelings are valid, but keep your distance, protect your peace, be there for your mom. It's like all you can do in this situation.
Yeah. Side note, you guys, of course it just started as we're recording. In our hallway right now, I think like a fire or smoke detector battery is low, so it's doing that annoying chirp thing. If you hear that in the background of any of these entries, we're sorry.
Okay, here's the next one. Hi, Kristen and Alex. I just want to start by saying, Alex, I'm so sorry for your loss. I have also just lost my grandmother 2 weeks ago to pancreatic cancer. Ugh. She fought for around 4 years, had chemo, a surgery, got cancer again, and it spread. And then did chemo again just because she wanted more time with us. Oh, my heart. We were lucky, but at the same time, it was so sad to watch her in pain. My grandfather passed 2 years ago. He was declining with dementia as he got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. We had time to anticipate both passings, but it doesn't make it any easier. They both passed peacefully in the care of my mother. These were my dad's parents, by the way. That's a whole other combo. My mom is an incredible woman for taking care of them 24/7, living there. My mother's parents also both passed this year. Yep, 3 grandparents in less than a year. I didn't have a relationship with them since they moved away when I was young. When I got older, I realized they never reached out growing up. They never tried to talk to me on the phone or anything. Feels weird that they passed and I don't know them at all. My older sister remembers them, but I was too young. I'm so blessed to have 2 very present grandparents, dad's parents, in my life who loved me so deeply. Over the last few years, my grandma has given a lot of things away. She loved knowing her belongings would bring others joy and not go to waste. It made me sad thinking about it, but I started to take some of her things. I staged them in my new home owner of 1 year. Oh, congrats.
Damn, congrats.
And showed her pictures when I visited. She loved it. I'll include a photo of the sun and moon that was hung above my grandparents' bed. They watch over me in my home. Anyway, Alex, I hope you find comfort thinking of all the good memories, stories you'll tell your kids, traditions you'll pick up from your grandparents. When I've been very sad lately, I've loved looking through old photos of my grandparents. I found so many recently I've never seen before. Seeing them young and healthy makes me happy. Remember, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to cry. We will always miss them, but we will always love them and keep their memories alive. Susie from Connecticut. Okay, and you said you will email us a picture of the sun and moon, and I would love to see that. Please send that.
I know. I hate that Patreon doesn't let you send fucking photos. There's so many times where I know you guys want to do it.
I wish they would add that. Oh, Susie, I feel like we're soul sisters right now. My story is eerily similar to yours. I grew up with 2 grandparents that I saw every day, and I also grew up with 2 grandparents that were in my life very much, and I have now lost all of them. Oh, I want to cry. sorry, I needed to take a cry break because you're right. It's okay to cry. But I feel you with losing grandparents all back to back, because it's like you feel like you don't have time to grieve just one, and then it's never ending, and it fucking sucks. So I'm here with you. Like, we could talk to each other, we could grieve together, because I feel you.
Like you can't give each of them the time they deserve as like an individual life.
No, and I mean, I lost a couple years ago. That's when I lost 3 grandparents in 3 months, and it's fucking ugly, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Whenever
I see people around me grieve, or good, even when I go through periods of grief myself, because it is a never-ending thing. Like, I know this is like the worst, could be the worst thing to like hear right now, when like you're like very clearly upset, but like, wow, what a gift it is to grieve too. Like,
yeah,
what a gift it is to have been so loved by who you're grieving, that you're crying, that you're feeling this deeply about them, that you're like, motive right now is to keep their memory alive and go through these photos and these heirlooms. Like, what a gift it is, not even was, is to like forever have been touched by someone this much, to when their body is no longer in the human plane, you can, like, you're still so touched by them.
Yeah, I agree.
I try to think about that too, because I think that's why we grieve.
I mean, that's what it is.
Grief is love.
Yep.
Grief is just you being like, oh dang, I really like that person.
No, for real. It's just expressing love in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grief fucking sucks.
And it's like, again, I don't know if this is also the right thing you want to hear too, but I feel like you'll follow me on this one. Going back to what you just said, when you had lost 3 in 3 months, and the feeling you had where you're like, God, I feel like I can't even fucking grieve one, because one dies 2 seconds later. Grief is forever. And like, that sounds so shitty, because you're like, well, I don't feel like it's forever. But no, like, there's no such thing as like, oh, I didn't give that one the time it, like, you will just always, it's forever.
It's so crazy, because I think we talked about this in our grief episode, but there was a feeling that I had that hit after, because I had never lost anyone in my life before. So I've never experienced grief in the way that I did after I lost my grandparents a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it literally feels like you open a door and you walk into like an after.
Yep.
Like, there's
life after that person left.
Yes. There is a very clear before they're gone and after they're gone.
Totally. And that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
About the death side. Like, you're right. It's who I was as a person when I had this person, and when I did. Yes. It is a door. And like, I see it as like I remember like timelines in history books, and they have those little lines that notch up to say like Lincoln was elected. Like, that is what my life looks like, is like, oh,
Notches
this person
death.
died. This person. Like,
yes.
And like, you can look at that so many ways. Like, it could be, perceived as like a shitty way to look at it, because like, they were so much more than just their death.
Yeah.
Like, on so many levels.
I think that's the part of grieving too, though, is, I mean, that's the immediate hurt that you feel after you lose them.
Yeah.
But then, because it does get easier, like, grief is forever, but I mean, the weight lifts itself.
I think you learn how to like live with it.
You learn how to live with it, and it's easier to remember the good memories, like back to this entry, remembering all of the good things in their life before death and before they got sick. And a small note about pancreatic cancer: it is the fucking devil.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is the ugliest disease, and to watch it happen so quickly. I'm glad you got those last 4 years with your grandmother. That is such a blessing.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm so glad she fought. It is a fucking monster. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know.
And nobody does. That's why you're just supposed to feel it.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to know anything.
No. There's no right or wrong way to grieve. Also,
they'd be looking at you laughing if you think you're supposed to know how to do this perfectly. And it's not, grief isn't something you accomplish.
No,
you just
like forever
live it.
Yeah, but I'm excited to get to the remembering all the good. I'm in the icky part right now, guys. Yeah,
you literally just got home, and you're in the part too, where you gotta like every morning drink a cup of grace. Yeah. Like you know, you're not sleeping well because you're grieving. Yeah. So don't be so frustrated that you're not sleeping well because your body's just trying to
adjust,
regulate to some stress you just went through, to say the least. Like, you know? So anybody else listening, like the person who wrote in, like a big part of grief is having grace with yourself and not judging or trying to not be frustrated with like, God, I'm just like not motivated to do anything. Yeah, no shit. Right. Like, no shit. You're tired.
There's no need to have everything together in a time like this at all.
It's crazy, man.
Crazy. Life is fucking crazy.
That was a movie.
Yeah. Last week was a fucking movie. Oh God.
You can make jokes too.
Yes. They've literally like right after she passed. Okay, my Oma, love her to death. She was the world's #1 worst complainer. Yeah. She would walk into any room and be like, "Oh, the acoustics, it's too loud in here," and it would be dead silent. Like everything, like the way a cushion felt.
Oh my God.
Love her to death. But immediately after she passed, we were all standing around her hospice bed and everything. And I was like, well, she's probably already complaining about heaven. For sure. Absolutely. That was her first order of business is like,
we're going to clean up around here.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Or no, she pulled up to wherever like your Opa stays and is like,
what's up?
What is this mess?
Yeah.
Like,
literally.
You leave
no,
me.
This should go here.
Yeah.
This got to go here. She always had something to say.
Oh.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's yapping.
That was
in
her.
Heaven now.
Yeah.
Complainer.
Still talking. She's such a complaint. Like, that's where I get it from.
Yeah. I was just going to say, so it's multi-generational.
Yeah. No. Always, this family always has something to say.
Yeah.
And she was the goddamn leader of it.
She started it.
She
said it first.
No, literally.
Was your Opa, like, did he just have to be like...
He was so, like, he would...
Just, like, let her.
And I've said this before, but, like, I think I've only heard my Opa say, like, 5 words in my entire life.
Right.
But he would just do...
Yeah.
He would just, like...
Acknowledge.
Yep.
Yeah.
He would just let her talk. I swear to God, the only restaurant she ever liked was IHOP. And the only thing she ever ordered was the liver.
I'm sorry, IHOP has a liver?
Probably. The one in Vallejo probably does.
Yeah, they're like, just found it.
secret menu.
Ew.
But yeah, she was such an interesting human. Yeah.
Ew.
But like we would try to go to other restaurants and she would just complain about the lighting in the restaurant, how loud it was, how big the burrito was. Like,
oh my God.
She had something to say about everything. And I loved it.
I think I remember like recently, like maybe even like her last birthday or something. I remember your parents being like, yeah, we're going to take her out, but I don't know. We might just like do something at home because like she's not going to want to go anywhere.
If it was IHOP, yeah.
Was she like that just when she started getting older? Or was she literally like that since she was like in her 40s?
She's been the same person. Like she has always
respect.
And you just know, like she has
some
always
people just become grumpy old people.
Yeah.
Like this was her personality.
She was just the world's most particular person.
That's the word, particular.
She was particular.
No. I won't stick on her too much.
No, but sometimes we need that humor. So yeah.
Would you guys ever like push back on it? Like, come, dude, like
sometimes, you didn't. But she's also just like, she will straight up ignore you. Oh. Like you can't question her. Yeah. Like she will have something to say, but if you push back, she'd literally go like that, like brush it off.
Yeah. So you just learn.
Yeah, like
choose your battles.
There's no argument. She's not argumentative.
Not here to debate.
No, she is fact.
She is fact.
Literally.
One fact.
Yeah, like if she walks into a room and talks about how loud it is, like it is loud.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh God, I miss her.
We need more of that energy.
Yeah. Unapologetic for sure.
There we go.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, next entry. Please read. Okay.
We got you.
Do narcissists change when death is knocking on their door? Dear Alex and Kristen, I really need your advice. I wrote in a few weeks ago asking for advice about being okay with being an introvert and not fitting in. I mentioned briefly how you two helped me through an abusive relationship. Well, that is the reason why I'm writing in now. This will be long, but I'm desperate for the two of your opinions because no one knows what I'm going through. I left my first and hopefully only abusive relationship this year. Let's call him Lincoln, a 28-year-old male, and I'm a 25-year-old female. We dated for less than a year, and within that time period, we already moved in together. I lived with him for only 3 months and moved out. He was verbally and emotionally abusive before we moved in, and he somehow convinced me it would get better once we lived together. Classic. When we moved in together, it got more physical, and I had to get out. Moving in so quickly was definitely not my typical behavior. The relationship I was in before Lincoln, I dated the guy for 2 years before moving in. It's safe to say Lincoln is a narcissist or has a lot of narcissistic traits. He's like a little boy who never had proper love or discipline. Leaving him was the smartest thing I've ever done. Even though I broke up with him around August of this year, right before I started dental hygiene school, I never went no contact with him. I beat myself up about not going no contact with him because I know it's the best thing to do. I do have to say he started therapy without me asking him while we were together, and it felt like his therapist was doing God's work. She was giving him perspective and empathy, which you'd think every person would have, but not everyone does. He stopped seeing her after the first time he hit me. He started going to therapy again after I broke up with him. I see a really damaged person when I look at him. There is good in him, and it's not all evil with him, but I don't think he knows how to be better, even if he wanted to be better. So that was just some backstory for now what I need help with. He told me a week or two ago that he has kidney failure and is going to have to go through dialysis.
Oh my God.
That if he doesn't, he will not make it past a few months. With dialysis, he will have around a year. I knew that while we were together, he had bad health, like fatty liver, high cholesterol, and his kidneys were not healthy because he would experience lower back aches a lot. This is due to heavy drug abuse since he was 16 years old, and his family has a history of cardiac disease and liver disease. It was a mix of genetics and bad habits. He definitely had enough time and plenty of warnings to stop his bad habits before it got to this point. Now that he's in kidney failure, he wants to see me more. He says he needs and wants to make up for what he's done to me with what little time he has because I'm an amazing person and was an amazing girlfriend to him and he didn't deserve. Sorry. He said he can't die knowing he never made it up to me. He says he knows he can never take me back, the horrible things he's done to me, and he's apologized a lot for what he's done, and that he wants us to end on much better terms because he carries so much guilt for what he's done to me. This might sound shitty, but I told him that he'd need to show me his medical papers stating that he's in failure and needs dialysis. A normal person would think, who would lie about that? But if you've ever dealt with a narcissist before, you know you need that proof to know that they're not lying or manipulating you. I told him that I don't know if I'd want to see him regularly or spend time with him. I know he's in a lot of pain and it is a lot to go through alone. Only his dad knows that he has kidney failure and hasn't offered any help. He lives alone in our apartment we used to share, and all his family lives 30 minutes or more away from him. Lincoln says he still loves me and he wants the last few months of his life spending time with me and to try and have good memories with me so I don't think of him badly when he's gone. He knows he can't undo all the bad things, but he wants us to be good in the end. He also says he doesn't want me to regret not wanting to see him before he's dead and gone. Again, shitty as fuck of me, but I wasn't planning on seeing him again even if he was alive. Is that so bad of me? He's in a shitty and scary position and he wants me to be around. I know kidney failure is horrible and to go through that alone is terrifying. I do feel like he's different now that he knows he's dying and has been kinder to me since we broke up, but that could also be because I don't give him opportunities to be a dick or to hurt me because I keep distance from him. What do I do, you guys? Please help me. 1, if he does show me the papers and it's true that he's in kidney failure and has to start treatment this week, do I go see him? It hurts me that he's going through this alone, but it is his fault for letting it get this far. And I still hate him for everything he's done to me. 2, do you think he's manipulating me to see me again and to be taken care of? Or do you really think a dying man could want to have the better memories with a girl he loves? This is all contingent on seeing his medical records. But if it's true, guys, what do I do? I know this is a lot, but I hope you read this and give me advice. Again, with lots of love, Aliza. There's no like right or wrong way to go about this, but I will say like, and I kind of love that this is kind of turning into like a grieving episode in a way, but just call me heartless. But just because someone is dying doesn't erase the shitty things that they've put you through. I think you're very smart to look at the medical records, and there's so many things I want to say. You know, I hope he gets better, for one. I hope he doesn't die. I hope there's something that where his body can rejuvenate here. Like, I don't know what's happening, but I hope he does end up being okay for him. But if he doesn't, don't feel guilty if you don't want to see him and you don't want to be there for that, because just because he's dying doesn't immediately fix all of his habits. Like, you're right to be like, is he just wanting me to like lure me in? That probably is what's happening, unfortunately. And God, I'm trying to like tread lightly here, but like,
well, I think even hearing his reasons behind wanting to see you and like how he's kind of verbalizing you seeing him, it still is on his terms. Like, this is all for his, like,
it's still selfish.
Yeah, it's all very selfish reasons. Like, going back to your entry, him saying, I want us to be good. I don't like it's still not in your perspective. He's not seeing your perspective here.
No.
He's saying, I don't want you to have this last bad image of me. It's all about his
I almost
ego.
stopped reading at that point because I was like, that sentence alone is like, of me.
Yeah, this is all still very much about him, which is, I mean, that is what a narcissist is. He only has his own perspective.
Yeah.
And everything, even up until the end, is still going to be in his perspective.
Yeah.
So take that how you will.
Yeah.
Like Kristen said, there's no right or wrong way to navigate this. We can't sit here and be like, yeah, go see him.
Do this, do that.
Because it's going to be up to you and how you feel about it. But you shouldn't feel guilt in any of it. This isn't like, he's not sick because of you.
Nope.
Nothing's going to change in his journey with this illness, whether you go and see him or not. Like, yes. I don't want you to think
it's dependent on you.
No, or like he'll have this peace of mind in his end days that'll like help him pass peacefully. That is not on you.
No.
That is not your job.
No.
And it won't fall on you. So please don't feel guilty about that.
Yeah, I encourage you when you're thinking about what you are going to do, like, it's shitty to think in this scenario, but think about if he were to die tomorrow. Only go if you think that's something you would need in your grieving process.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it for any other reason than you just being like, okay, maybe I do want to go spend my final days with someone I cared about at one point. But also, you cared about them at one point, but then they also like fucked you up at one point. And like,
it's a really hard place to be. I'm sorry. I think there's a middle ground here too, where you can like not go, but if you maybe want to send like, even like if you want to like write a card or something, or whatever your medium feels like good to you to like get your emotions out within your boundaries, like something of like sending you off with love and light. Like, we had our time. And when it was good, but our souls are not interlinked anymore. So like wishing you the best and your fucking next life. I don't know. Like, I feel like I would find a way to like communicate that.
Yeah. To lead with love, but not in like a relationship way.
Right. Not to
like
be there for him.
Yeah. In like a human way of just like, we did do our dance at one point and I will remember you as that. Goodbye.
Yep.
Like, a good way to kind of just cut it off clean. Because I guess like in a way I see what he's saying as far as like it not being this like you have an opportunity right now to say bye to someone who's dying in like with like a good last memory, but that last memory doesn't have to be going to the hospital every day, holding his hand, all that. That's more than you've signed up for. You're not together anymore.
And it also doesn't have to be, this good last memory doesn't have to be your forgiveness. Like a lot of that gave me, and again, we know nothing, but a lot of that gave me an inkling that he's like looking for your forgiveness. And you don't owe him that. Nope. You don't need to do that if you don't feel it in your heart.
Yep.
So if that's not something that you want to give up or even want to process right now, you don't need to.
Just, try not to let him like convince you to do any of these things. Only do them if they are like
genuine to you.
True to you.
Yep.
Like when you're in your shower thoughts, true to you.
Yes.
Like, is that really what you want to do as an individual? Regardless of him. Did you already have it in your head before he already said it? Because then, hey, maybe that is true to you. But don't let him plant shit.
No.
Because that's what they be doing.
And that's for his wants and needs.
Yeah.
Not yours.
Yep.
Okay, here's the next one. Random appreciation point in Laughing Universe. Hi, girly pups. First, I'd like to thank you for being your truly amazing selves and sharing your experiences with us. This little community you built is really special, and I would be a completely different person if it didn't exist.
Same.
Me too, you guys. Me too. I want to share a little life update with you because I'm highly inspired by you girls, and you helped me through the worst periods of my life. Now I can proudly say that I'm in a better place in every aspect of my life. 2 months ago, I finally moved to another city, leaving every bad energy behind. I moved in with my best friend, which is a really new experience because earlier I only lived with random people. I've never felt at home like this, I think ever in my life. Also, I just started a whole new career path in graphic design and illustration. I didn't even doodle in like 15 years or so. I'm 25, and I recently realized that I have some kind of fear or something that didn't let me express my creativity. So I said, fuck it, and I'm going to make money of my weakness and went back to school. Although I'm in a really early stages of this journey, I already got tons of positive feedback and I really enjoy creating. I'm seeing a lot of progression in my work and something just switched in my mind for the better. I really enjoy this new city. I always felt like a big city girl in a small city. Now I'm just trying to let in as much culture and beautiful places as I can. Although I've been single for literally my whole entire life, I just feel freshly single, which makes it even better. Earlier this year, you read my entry about me confessing love to one of my best friends who didn't feel the same way. I can't really say I'm completely over the situation. I know it will take a lot of time, but I've never been this open to new people and new experiences. It's like I just started season 2 of my life. But like in every good series, there are people from season 1 who come back to teach us lessons. So here's a little story of the worst date of my life, which is clearly a big laugh in my face for the universe for my very poor decisions. So there's a guy who had my heart like 6 years ago, but we had some difficulties with timing and zip code shit, so us just never happened. But now we live in the same city. Both of us are single, and not gonna lie, he looked hella hot in his new Instapic. So I called him, and a few hours later we met. It went really well. He showed me beautiful places in the city. We chatted a lot, felt really good. After that evening, we planned a date at my place, cooking together and watching a movie and stuff. Well, this was a bad idea. First of all, when he arrived, he was violently high and not in a cute way.
Oh.
Even though we planned to cook, he brought a lot of instant noodles and snacks and immediately started trashing my kitchen.
Literally just like munchies.
That's crazy. Then we smoked a joint together, and right after that, he ordered a fucking pizza and rolled another joint. After his third joint and 6th whole Thanksgiving dinner, he was so sick that he fell asleep on my bed for hours. No,
I would get the ick so bad.
Oh, but I would call it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you gotta go. Oh my God.
And it'd be different if it was like, hey, come over and let's like
crash out. No, but like this was a date night at your house where you guys wanted to cook together.
Such a different vibe.
Oh my God. He was like chilling with a homie, not in like a chill way.
No, yeah. In the wrong way.
Oh God. Okay. Thank God for my roommate who just got home at this point of the night, and we just continued our Marvel Universe movie nights while this guy slept between us. This was the highlight of the day. Oh no. So yeah, I think the story taught me that people from my past are there for a reason, and I have to appreciate the person I have evolved to, because not everyone is going through positive character development. Thank you if you read this long ass yapping, and if you have any advice for fresh starts like this, I'm happy to hear it. Love you girlies. I don't have to be anon. My name is Eve. Oh my God, Eve. That's crazy.
I'm just like picturing like you guys are like laughing at a part of the movie and he's just like
literally
just like
oh my God, I would get the ick so bad.
Oh no, I'm like
get the ick so bad.
I'm
No,
like,
I have
feel
the
it
ick
right
right
on
now.
my body language. Like I would like shake him awake
and the
be
fact
like,
that
hey, I got you an Uber. Like
yeah, you gotta go.
it would just be so uncomfortable, especially during Marvel movies.
Right, those are like
such
action-packed.
long movies.
Oh. And
I'd
the
kick
fact
him
that
out.
he showed up high, like it's one thing to come like show up a couple movie snacks and a couple joints pre-rolled. Hey, like I
let's
brought
do
us
this together.
Yes. No, but like
He pulled up high.
Yeah.
That's such a different vibe. That's what I'm saying. Like if
Such a
it's like, hey, you want to come
vibe.
over and smoke and like just order junk food, like
Fun.
love
If
that.
it's planned.
It's a planned thing
Yeah.
and we're hit for a hit, so we're the same level high, but like
Yeah.
you came over just
Zooted. Wow. Fuck that guy.
I'm curious to know like what was
his demeanor after?
So when did he wake up? Like
yeah.
I need to hear like the second half of that story and
Me
like
too.
did he text you an apology or like because I'm thinking if like that happened to me and I fucking like greened out and just like didn't know, I would feel so remorseful the next day and like I wonder if he felt any of that. Because if so,
I mean,
like
I doubt it.
me too. But if so, then I'd be like, oh, okay, we all kind of fuck up.
Right.
Like he just got a little too high. But I don't know. He pulled up high. I don't know. Ugh, fuck
Ew.
that. But you're so right. Like people of your past, like you see them again and like you think it's going to be like this like rekindling moment. And then you're like, oh, you're exactly where I left you.
Yes. Exactly. But you know what? I'm also glad that you had that little experience and got yourself out there in a new city, because maybe you needed that little stepping stone of like testing out the waters of responding to a DM, right? Like you slid and like kudos to you for sliding.
Yep.
And you got yourself out there. You needed that little stepping stone with someone you knew, but now you're more comfortable to do it maybe with a stranger or like going up to someone at a bar or something.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you did it.
That's so real. Like I feel like I'm even experiencing that. Like I feel like ever since like that one date I went on, I've been way more comfortable. Just like even when I'm out talking to people, like like it
is practice.
It's not this like untouched territory anymore.
No,
I guess.
Yeah.
So good on you. And you said advice for like these new beginnings. One piece of advice, and it's gonna be just be open.
Yeah.
Just be super open and be a yes girl for like even just like a week or one weekend. Like, you know, set these kind of intentions of just being like, hey, I'm just gonna be a yes girl. And if someone's like, hey, you want to go to this like birthday party and you don't know anybody, go. You might meet somebody, a friend or a lover, whoever, but like just be a yes person.
And knowing you're in an uncomfortable place right now with this like new place and not knowing anyone, that kind of gives it free reign. So everything's going to be uncomfortable. So everything is doable at that point, you know, within your boundaries, but like something that you would usually not do, go and do it because you're in the uncomfortable place. So why not just dive right in, lean into it.
Okay. Next one. Hello, ladies. Or no, hello again, ladies. I've written in about my mom and I's relationship before, and you gave great advice then, so I'm back for more. That rhymed. I believe I wrote in about how my mom is such a negative Nancy to her core and often complains about things that are absolutely in her control. Money being a huge complaint of hers. For some important background info that will come up later, my in-laws are both practically retired, so they have a lot of free time on their hands, which means they're able to hang out and help out a lot more often with our kids. We have a 2-year-old and a 2-month-year-old. On the contrary, my mom is busy busting ass 24/7 to pay the bills because she makes next to nothing, and my dad doesn't have a job because he simply doesn't want to work. That leaves my mom with little time to hang out with us, yet my parents still manage to see us at least twice a week. We've always had an open door policy at our house. As long as we have a fair warning that someone is in the area and wants to stop by, we love visitors. Now on to current events and the issue that arises every holiday season. My mom gets major FOMO, especially around the holidays, but since we're married with kids, we try our best to split holidays and make it fair to each side of the family. My mom prefers to celebrate holidays on the holiday, so doesn't like celebrating Thanksgiving the day before, for example. But she's a horrible planner, so often waits up until a week or so before the holiday to tell us that she'd like to celebrate. So this last Friday, my mother-in-law asked us super last minute to go to a little Halloween carnival thing at my husband's old elementary school. Our son dressed up and even won a costume contest, which was super cool. When I sent my mom a photo of his costume, she told me she felt left out recently. I'm assuming it was because we did something with my mother-in-law that's holiday related. When I asked her how she felt left out, she said she feels like she doesn't get to see us that often, and now that she's back at work, she works at a school, so she recently had fall break and was around quite a bit. She also pointed out that we went to a pumpkin patch without them and didn't include my cousin, who also has 2 boys the same age as ours. The issue with the pumpkin patch was we were invited by our friends literally an hour before going, so I truly didn't think to invite my parents. Plus, they aren't monitoring people and dislike not having time to prepare for things, which I totally get. The next day, our hometown hosted a trick-or-treating event that we learned about from a friend the day prior. We had already had plans that evening, which was dinner with my in-laws. Nothing new. We do this every weekend. The following morning, my mom texted me saying that she wanted to go to the trick-or-treating event with us and was really bummed out we didn't get to this year, nor last year. My husband and I hadn't even known that this event existed until the day before, so her wanting to go with us a whole year prior was news to us. I responded by saying we could plan for it next year since it genuinely seems like something that our kids would be the perfect age for then. Her response back to me was asking what we were up to that morning. When I told her we were at the park per our 2-year-old's request, she hit me with, "This is exactly what I'm talking about. We're never invited to anything." I was completely dumbfounded as I didn't think it was that important to her to be invited to a last-minute trip to the park that could last as little as 20 minutes. When we got home, I called her to clear the air because this was starting to feel a bit ridiculous. She was clearly bothered because she then decided to inform me that my in-laws were over at our house 5 days in a row the week prior. I started to get angry because I don't know where she was getting this false information or why it would even matter if they had, because who gets to spend more time with our kids shouldn't be a competition. I have known for years that my parents feel insecure about their situation as a whole compared to my in-laws because they are all so opposite. My in-laws have had well-paying jobs, a nice home, a great relationship with each other and their kids, whereas it's almost the complete opposite for my parents. So there's always been this underlying competition from my parents' point of view. I moved out to live with them when I was 21. They take us on fully paid family trips. They paid for the majority of our wedding and help us with our kids so much. All the things my mom has expressed she wished she could do. I understand because it's sparked from a place of insecurity, but my in-laws are the most humble, rich people ever. On the surface, they appear to be the most middle-class people. They may pay for everything when we do stuff together and pay for diapers, but they have never been ones to flaunt or talk money. Maybe my perspective is a bit harsh, but it's been hard for me to navigate the situation with my family because of how my in-laws decided to spend their time and money when it comes to our kids isn't really in my control. Nor would I ask them to take a step back because what they're doing isn't wrong and it ultimately helps us out. We clearly need family therapy. Haha, help me. I'm just out here doing my best. P.S. Alex, I'm really sorry to hear about your Oma. From what you shared on your IG stories, it seems like she lived a beautiful life. Sending you hugs.
Thank you.
You said it. This is very clearly, an insecure situation. And, it's easy for us to say because we're reading it from an entry as outsiders, not related to your mom the way you are. But it's hard when like we see people older than us, especially parents that are, you know, supposed to have it all together, right? They're supposed to just like be them, just what an adult's supposed to be, having these insecurities that you think you're only supposed to have when you're younger. That's not how it works. And it sucks, but I do think you're handling it really well. I like where your head's at as far as like, yo, it's beyond my control. Like they're nice people and you just live different lives. Like ultimately you can only paint that perspective so much for your mom. It's going to take her own work and realization to, you know, accept that. But as for now, like, I guess just easier said than done, but like try and not let her make you feel bad for these things. 'Cause you aren't doing anything wrong. There's no malicious, like we're not inviting them 'cause they're broke. Like, you know, it's not like that, but to her, it feels that way.
Yeah.
And you can only crutch that so much. You know, you invite them when you can, and when it's last minute things, like I would even bet deep down when you're saying, like, when you called after that park thing, the last minute park thing, that one morning or whatever, I even bet in her head, she was like, she knows that no shit, she probably couldn't have even come because you was so last minute. But it's like
in her head, it's all. Yep, I was just gonna say it's the principle of it all,
which I have compassion for, but
and her feelings are her feelings, which make them valid, and she's allowed to feel how she feels, but it shouldn't affect how you feel about the situation.
That's with every insecurity. Like we can understand and acknowledge insecurities of people around us as much as we acknowledge our own insecurities, but you know, you can't tiptoe to those insecurities because then you're actually enabling them, surprisingly enough. Like you would be making them worse because you would be creating a reality where those are the reality, whereas they're actually just a perception of herself. So you know, keep doing what you're doing. And that does, I know that might not be the nice thing to hear. I wish there was something we could just say to where like you would have the perfect situation. But from an outside perspective, I think you and your partner are handling this like super level headed, and sending you love. I wish I could speak on it more because I don't have an in-law.
Right. But I kind of see where you're at right now with, rightfully so, kind of like protecting your in-laws in a way with, I even just reading like you validating and like standing up for how they are, and like they don't flaunt their money. This is just the way they are. They're nice people, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's your way of like protecting them from your mom's wrath, because I'm sure there's situations where it's come up and like she directs her anger at them. Like, well, you invited them, they go. And I just want to like acknowledge that, because that just like shows where your heart's at in this situation. And you can't make everyone happy in every situation. And that's just like the way it is. And that's just your mom's insecurity. So yeah.
She knows they're good people. You don't got to tell her that. Yeah. That's why she's threatened by them, unfortunately. If they were shitty rich people, you know, contrary to what you're saying, she would be like, yeah, they suck. Like you guys would be on the same page probably, but they're good people. And that's unfortunately why she's feeling this way. It always sucks to see, because you would hope good people would inspire you to be good. But when your insecurities are this deep, it's a little bit harder of gook to get out of. But you're doing great.
Thank you again for giving us that week break. Much needed. I always appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for understanding, but we're back and it feels good to sit here and talk to you guys. Definitely missed you.
We are so back.
I feel like for the past 4 weeks, we've been saying everything back to normal.
We jinxed it.
No. Yeah. But it
was with good reason.
Yeah. Good reason.
It's fucking death. Like, what are you going to do?
Right.
I can't plan it for that one.
Exactly.
Should have done it on the season break. Like, sorry. Yeah. Oh, speaking of season break, more details of that to come soon. You guys will definitely be the first to know.
Yeah.
But we'll probably be taking a small one with our move and like figuring out the new sets, plural. So get excited for that. But we'll keep you more updated with dates, timing, all that when we get closer to it. But just wanted to plant that seed. That felt like a corporate email.
Yeah.
I just want to plant that.
We'll circle back in a couple of weeks. But yeah, for now, everything's back to normal.
Yep.
So Thank you guys for writing in.
Happy Halloween.
Oh yeah, happy Halloween. You guys are over it.
Everyone's fucking over it. That's what I do love about that holiday.
Yeah,
When it's done, it's done.
It's done.
And every holiday should be like that.
Yeah.
Christmas isn't, and it should be.
No, there's people who leave their Christmas lights up year round.
I'm seeing TikToks of people that have their tree up already.
My mom has a tree, but she has her fall decor.
Her fall tree is cute. I like her seasonal trees, but I saw like Christmas tree.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I hate it. Anyway.
All right, guys, have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
We love you.
Love you.
Bye. Bye.